Hey, what's up guys? It is Rob from Movie Review Time, and I'm back with a brand new top 10 video. I'm actually filming this right after the one I just did, my top 10 favorite horror movie sequels. And now I'm doing my top 10 worst horror movie sequels. And Sean Urshan, thanks for commenting, Sean. In the comments of that video, he wanted to know if I was going to do my top 10 worst horror sequels. So here it is. This was actually a hard one because there are a ton of bad horror sequels, and I'm not going to name them all, but I have my top 10, and then I have a bunch of honorable mentions, or dishonorable mentions, so to say. So yeah, this is just my opinions. Oh man, this is going to be a stink fest. Let me just say, I want to thank all of you for subscribing, for sticking with me, and taking the time out of your day for watching my videos. I really do appreciate that. So let's get on with the video. I hope you enjoy it. Coming in at number 10, Open Water 3 Cage Dive. This movie sucks. It sucks because of the stupid decisions that the characters make in this. This huge wave topples over the boat, and they're going cage diving with sharks, and they're sitting there floating around in the water, and they finally get this raft, and they go in the raft, and the girl lights a flare inside the raft, burning the raft, and then they're out on the water again. I'm not going to say any more. That's number 10. Should be number 1. Coming in at number 9 is Piranha 3 Double D. This was a stupid movie. I mean, honestly, the piranhas are learning to walk and everything. The piranhas get into this water park. This was just so silly. It was stupid. I mean, honestly, the first one I can buy because it was, the first movie I think knew what it was. This one, I couldn't tell. It was just so dumb. There were some funny moments with David Hasselhoff and stuff. I don't know. I just thought it was a stupid movie. That's number 9. Number 8. Hannibal Rising, which is basically a prequel, because this shows how Hannibal became Hannibal, why he likes to eat people. Like I always say in my videos, they do not need to explain that. Billy Loomis said it best in Scream when he said, did they ever explain why Hannibal Lecter liked to eat people? Don't think so. It's a lot scarier without a motive. I agree with him. I agree. This movie kind of explains why he does, or why he gets into being a cannibal, because of what happens to his family. So he does it as sort of like a revenge tip. I don't know. I thought it was dumb. I didn't buy it at all. Coming in at number 7 is Wrong Turn 6 Last Resort. This is basically a softcore porno. I mean, from beginning to end, there's sex scenes all over the place. I thought the story was just lackluster. I didn't care about any of the characters. Some of the death scenes were okay, but it doesn't feel... This does not feel like a Wrong Turn movie to me. I mean, hell, I hate Part 3, and I like Part 3 more than this. So, I don't know. I thought this was a lame movie. Coming in at number 6 is really no question, Hellraiser Revelations. Doug Bradley's not in this. This movie was trash. The guy cannot act like Pinhead at all. He's just nothing like Doug Bradley. I thought the makeup and the effects were actually okay. But the way he just looks stupid, I just think. Like right there, he just looks like he's about to take a dump or something. I don't know. That's number 6. Coming in at number 5 is a real stinker. An American Werewolf in Paris. American Werewolf in London is my favorite all-time werewolf movie. I love that movie. This one is awful. The effects for the werewolves in this is like watching a cartoon. I think they had better effects in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I mean, honestly, Tom Everett Scott and Julie Delpy. God. Alright, so coming in at number 4, Seed of Chucky. I let Bride of Chucky slide for it being kind of like a funny movie, kind of like a comedy, horror comedy. Seed of Chucky was just awful. That even went to theater. I remember the standees that they used to have in the theater. I didn't see it in the theater, thank God. I didn't waste my money on it. But the movie is terrible. I didn't care about anybody in the movie. Tiff and Chucky have a kid? Okay. Well, Chucky's turning into a fucking, you know, what's he turning into? He's not Charles Lee Ray anymore. He's like whipped. Like, I hated that, how Chucky needed like a sidekick. Coming in at number 3, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Hobo Michael, Rob Zombie Michael even, sits there, stabs this lady in the head 100 times going, "Ah, ah, 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 ah." Freaking wearing a hood over his head like he's trying to, you know, not be noticed, but he still has a mask on. But he puts a hood over his head. Half of the mask is ripped off. Why even wear the mask anymore? Just don't wear it. Freaking white horses and freaking... This movie was... I don't even need to say it, okay? It's terrible. Coming in at number 2, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Next Generation. Some people say that this movie's so bad it's good. It's not good at all. Matthew McConaughey, his performance is entertaining, but this movie is awful. It is terrible. It is horrible. Everything about it. Not a big fan of Renee Zellweger, but God, this movie. Can't believe I own some of these, but I don't think I need to I don't think I need to say much about that one. Coming in at number 1, my all-time, the sequel that I think is the worst. Jaws: The Revenge. A shark that wants revenge on the Brody family follows Mrs. Brody all the way to the Caribbean. And it's a huge shark. It's like 10 times as big as the 25-footer in the first Jaws. And it wants revenge. It growls. It comes up out of the water like it's a dolphin going like this. The only good scene in this is when, in the beginning, I think it's, I don't know who it is, a Michael or something, so it sticks, his arm gets bitten off in the beginning. Like, I remember watching that as a kid. I thought that was okay, but then after that, the movie is stupid. With Mrs. Brody and her love interest with Michael Caine who flies his plane around. Like, what the... Oh my God. Jaws: The Revenge is terrible, and I consider this the worst horror movie sequel. Just my opinion. I mean, there are plenty of stinkers out there, like I said. A lot of bad horror movie sequels. But that is my top 10. And I don't really need to talk about any of them because you already know. Now we're going to get into some of the dishonorable mentions. First thing I'm going to mention is Troll 2. I do not own it. Oh my God! I will say Troll 2 didn't make my top 10 because there are things that I think are funny about the film. It's very cheesy, it's a lame film. But I mean, the character, you know, the acting's terrible. But it can be entertaining. Hell, I mean, you know, the movie The Room, that's a bad movie, but it's good. You know, it's a it's so bad it's good. The acting's terrible in that movie, and I like watching it. Troll 2 is kind of, you know, for me, Troll 2 kind of fits in that category a little bit. Okay, so here's a couple more here of dishonorable mentions. I'm going to say Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. I couldn't get into this movie. I just think it's terrible. I don't know. I didn't like the whole story with Alice, and I liked her story better in part 4. And then, of course, Freddy's Dead with Roseanne Barr and Tom Arnold and Alice Cooper as his father. Great graphics. Freddy's a stand-up comedian in that movie. Alright, I'm going to say Alien Resurrection. I thought this movie was terrible. You know, Ripley's back all of a sudden. Alien 3 might be bad, but there are some good things about Alien 3. But, you know, Ripley's basically a clone in this one, and Winona Ryder's a freaking android. Let's see, next I would say Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil. I remember not liking that at all. I don't even like Prom Night 2 or 3 I don't like any of them except for the first movie. So I just thought I'd mention that. I'm gonna say Ring 2. Can't stand that movie. Rings was terrible as well. Hills Have Eyes 2. This is the sequel to the remake. This is terrible. I know there's some people who like this. Some of the death scenes are fine, but the whole story about them trying to impregnate women underground and then killing them, it's dumb. I just thought that was... Ugh. Let's see. How about Cabin Fever Patient Zero? Cabin Fever is not a good series anyway, but Patient Zero, I almost fell asleep watching that movie. Also, I want to mention, like, Tremors 4, which is the prequel. Terrible effects, terrible movie. I'm going to say Paranormal Activity 4. Out of the Paranormal Activities, I mean, the sequels, I don't think, even touch the first one. The third one had a good story, I guess, but this one goes nowhere. I don't like the characters in this. It seems like Katie breaks everyone's neck, like in this still. I don't think this moved forward enough. I don't know. Terrible. The Final Destination, I think this is the weakest one out of the Final Destination films. I just couldn't get into this one. I actually thought the effects and stuff, the CGI was terrible, like with the IndyCar race or something, you know, when the stadium starts to collapse. Ugh. Hatchet 3. Out of the Hatchet films, I consider this one to be the worst. Victor Crawley had some good moments. And Hatchet 2 actually had some good moments, but this one was weak. Species: The Awakening. I even would put Species 3 in here. I mean, the only thing good about this is the cover. She's good, yeah. But the movies in general, blah. See No Evil 2. I don't know what happened here. The first See No Evil I consider to be an underrated horror film. I thought it was really, really good. And this one just really did a 180. I just don't understand what was going on here. Kane likes to wear masks. We understand that. He wears a mask in this. Okay? I just thought this one was it was just really different from the first one. It felt like it had no budget at all. Exorcist 2, The Heretic, This movie was boring. I just couldn't get into it. I mean, Linda Blair is back, but it just... Exorcist 3 is far superior, in my opinion. George A. Romero's Survival of the Dead. I'd probably even put Diary of the Dead here, but Survival of the Dead was terrible. It's been a while since I've seen this one, if I remember correctly. There's like these two families that are fighting against each other for power. The Moldens. Yeah, it's fuck. I have a few more here. I'd say Saw 3D or Saw 7. You know, right in the beginning when those two people are being executed out in public with chainsaws, it's like that was the stupidest moment I've ever seen in a Saw movie. I mean, it usually starts with like some kind of trap or something they're trying to get out of, and then you know they're not going to get out of it because you want to see them dying that way. The beginning of Part 7 was dumb, and I don't like the twist about who was really behind the whole thing. It just doesn't make sense. So I thought that was a really bad sequel. Hostel 3. When it comes to Hostel movies, my order would go 1, then 2, then 3. I think 3 was just it wasn't like the other ones, and I felt like, again, it was like a really low budget kind of film. It just didn't seem the same as the other ones. I didn't care for the story. Human Centipede 3, that has to do with the prison. Human Centipede 1 I consider a unique film. Human Centipede 2 was very over the top, even though it does have some good elements. And the third one just had nothing. It had the same characters from the first two movies. And it had the doctor, and then, what's his name from Human Centipede 2, the guy who killed everybody. Grudge 3, I actually like Grudge 2 better than Grudge 1. And the first two Grudge movies, you know, like I said, I like them. But Grudge 3 was so weird. Like, even, you know, the entity itself was, the CGI or whatever, the effects for it were just terrible. Very lackluster. Last one I'm going to mention is Lake Placid 3. You know, the Lake Placid movies I thought got worse as far as the CGI for the crocodile. I felt, yeah, Lake Placid 3, you could really tell when he's just walking around. It just looks like a cartoon or like CGI that's unfinished. I don't know. You could probably put the other Lake Placids in there too, but I really noticed it in Lake Placid 3. So anyway, guys, yeah, there are plenty more horror movie sequels that are probably really bad. But I can spend all day probably just talking about them. So I really just wanted to get through my top 10 and then show you some of the other ones that that I don't really care for. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back with more top 10s, more list videos, more. You know, I have a bunch of reviews that I'm working on right now, and I have to upload, as well as older videos. You know, I've been uploading a lot of my VHS box sets, my Blu-ray box sets, reviews, up close and personals, and then, you know, Wild Eye reviews. I actually still have a bunch of Wild Eye movies to review still, yeah, just a lot more things. And also stay tuned. I looked on the computer, and I was supposed to get it on the 6th of December. Now, this is what I don't like. You know, when it comes to like Amazon and like Best Buy, when you order online, it'll tell you an estimated delivery time. Now it's telling me that I might get the package on Saturday the 1st. I'm okay. I thought you said the 6th. Now it's telling me the 1st. So you might, you know, expect a video on that day, a huge unboxing. So it's going to be really cool. I have some really cool movies to show you guys. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. Thanks for subscribing, for sticking with me. I really do appreciate it. As always, see you in the next one.